important event. Thank you for coming out tonight and spending your time with us to learn about civic issues and the people that want to gain your vote. It's very important. You know, I love my hometown of Port Coquitlam. I've grown up here. My passion for our community is just something that I just love being the mayor of this community. I love being able to serve our community. We've worked really hard in the last 3 years as a council to do things a little bit differently, and sometimes that may be making decisions that maybe were a little bit tough to swallow. But over time, I think we saw the benefit of them, and we saw how they helped our community forward. You know, we've heard about the Coast Marine Overpass, but that was a major project. The biggest infrastructure project in this community's history, and probably the biggest one that we're going to see for a long time, was opened just last year and has created incredible benefit to our community. We renewed our relationship with the Coquitlam First Nations, which wasn't in good state. Now it is in good state. We were able to reopen the Travel Lake Poco Trail, which had been previously closed in a certain section for the last 4 years. Our new waste management disposal changes. It not only reduces the greenhouse gases, but also saves us $200,000 a year. Saves us as taxpayers that much. We did a core service review, where we engaged over 1,300 residents, the largest engagement that our city's ever done, to talk about where we're going. We did staff meetings with all of our staff to make sure that we knew where we were going. And out of that, we have a new direction for our community. We did our first ever heritage strategic plan, our first ever environmental strategic plan, to really make sure that we're on the right plan going forward. This council's worked extremely hard to make sure that our community's engaged. We won awards provincially for doing that. When I ran 3 years ago, I put a platform up that was very detailed. It's on my website. It's under the report card. You can see everything that I said that I was going to do and what I've achieved. This year, I've also put out a 20-page report showing where I think we need to go. I want to be held accountable by you, so I'm willing to put out all in detail where I think we should go and how we should get there. And I hope for your vote and your support on November 19th. Thank you very much.
Mr. Moore.
Thank you very much. No doubt taxes are probably the #1 issue that I hear from businesses. Business pays about 3.2 times the amount of residential tax versus business tax. Now, that's a lot more, although it is the lower than the Metro Vancouver average. It's lowest in the Tri-Cities. So we are getting some things right there, but we need to work harder to make sure that we're taxing the appropriate level. The other thing is the assessment. BC assessment, when their property values go up at 50, 60, 80% in one given year, their tax goes up for that same year. I talked to ESCO this year. I've talked to the grocer, the cereal Northern Roll. That's hard. We wrote a letter to the minister saying we need some changes to how BC assessment works, because that's unfair to a local business that their taxes would go up so much, and we cannot control that. We also need to work on transportation solutions. We've delivered a lot. I would disagree with one of the previous speakers. Coast Marine Overpass, Broadway, Pitt River Bridge, Golden Ears Bridge, which is a transit project, have opened up our industrial area to allow more transportation. In my document here, I say that we need to bring forward an economic strategic plan. That'll bring everybody forward.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore.
Thanks. Of course, I think I've missed one meeting in the last 3 years due to a family illness that I had to go to the hospital, and we put Councillor Carolyn as acting mayor at the very last minute. She didn't want to come.
Mr. Moore.
Thank you very much. The first part was experience. I'm an undergrad in urban geography and city planning. I have a master's degree in business administration, so I completely understand what a business plan is and an economic development strategy. My wife and I, we've owned our own small businesses where we had to create successful small business where we had to create business plans on how to move forward. But from an economic development strategy with the city, I think the best thing that we can do is create a great community. Create a community that's taxed fairly, a community that is safe for our residents, that has recreation and other activities. We need to create a good relationship. We talk about cutting red tape. We need to make sure that businesses can do business in Port Coquitlam, because they'll be our best salesperson. When they're around the country, when they're around North America talking about their community that they do business in, and they can talk well about Port Coquitlam, that'll attract other businesses here. And as I stated before in my platform, we need to move forward with an economic development strategy. And that will take the whole community coming together to drive that strategy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, we'll start with you. Please.
Thank you very much. Eagle Ridge is our community hospital, and when I was first elected, one of the first meetings I met with all of the different community groups. I went and met with the Eagle Ridge Hospital and the Eagle Ridge Hospital Foundation to work with them and to understand what their needs were, to be able to champion their needs. And we have sent, as a council, we've sent many motions and many letters off to the provincial government requesting that they actually use all of Eagle Ridge Hospital. There's areas in Eagle Ridge Hospital that have been cottonballed. The doors have never been opened. I was chatting with the chair of the Eagle Ridge Hospital Foundation 2 days ago, and they're going through their own strategic plan to look at how they can expand that hospital. And we need, as a community, to get behind that. We need to work with them on how they can expand that to meet the growing needs of this community. But also we need to look at the Royal Columbian Hospital, which has a business plan in front of the provincial government to expand it substantially because it is underserving our growing community. It seems that all the healthcare dollars are focused on Surrey. And yeah, they're a growing community, but so are we. We need to work together, and we need to continue to work with the other mayors around the region to make sure that we're fighting for the healthcare dollars to stay in our community.
Mr. Moore.
Thank you very much. And I have to take issue with what my opponent's saying right out of the gate. He wants to cut our revenue or our budget by 30%. I would be shocked if he even knew what 30% of our budget cut is, but I'll help him out. It's a $23 million cut. He thinks he can go in and cut $23 million out of a $77 million budget and not affect a service? Do you think that the existing council is that dense? That if we could see those cuts, if we went out to the community in the last 3 years and done extensive public engagement, that we wouldn't have seen those obvious cuts that he's talking about? I wish that he would come forward and tell us, what's the 30% he's going to cut? Because if you keep our core services of police, fire, water, sewer, roads, you know what's left? Parks and recreation, trails, the environment. That's what I want to hear about. But I think the most important thing that we need to do is continue to engage with our community as we have in the last 3 years to figure out a better way to do business. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore.
Thank you. I would have thought my two predecessors said one thing they want to change in the city is the mayor, but they didn't say that, so I suspect they're supporting that I continue to be mayor. Thank you very much. The one thing that I would change, and I think this is a tough change, we've worked really hard to do it, we've won an award for doing it, but I would change, and I would continue to change how we engage our businesses, how we engage our residents on decisions that we make. I think the strongest way that a community can grow is through community engagement, is reaching out. And that's why when we've done things in the past 3 years, when we had budget meetings, we didn't hold them at 7 o'clock at City Hall on a Tuesday night, hoping you could make it out and 4 people come. We actually took it to the rec center from 9 until 1 o'clock. So when you're going there, dropping your kids off at skating, or you're going to the Wilson Center Senior Center, or at High Creek you're going to the pool, you can come talk about the budget. We need to continue that. If I could change more, I would change and figure out how we can engage our community in the decisions that we need to do moving forward.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore.
Thank you very much. And again, thank you to the Chamber, thank you to all the candidates for putting your name forward, and thank you for you to coming out tonight to listen to us. It's absolutely been my privilege to be your mayor, and I have worked extremely hard to try to continue to engage on all areas. We do it now online. We do it through Facebook, through Twitter, through online discussions. I talked about how we do it differently by going to rec centers and trying to go out. We did council meetings in gymnasiums of schools. We did town hall meetings. We've done things differently. We've had lots of examples how we've done that. 3 years ago when I ran, my #1 priority that I had in my platform, and you can see it on the website, gregmoore.ca, was to rebuild the reputation of our community. It seems like that was a long time ago, and we've done that. Today, I got a call from the Globe and Mail to do an interview about our environmental leadership. Whether it was the garbage services or the green roofs, we're leading Canada in many areas in the environment. We need to continue to work together with our community, the school district, other areas within Metro, other cities within Metro Vancouver, and continue the great governance that we've had in the past 3 years.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.